Most people see debt as a prison, a weight holding them back from freedom or success. But here's the truth. Debt itself isn't evil. It's a tool. And like any tool, it can build or destroy. Robert Kiyosaki once faced over $800,000 in debt. Yet, instead of running from it, he learned to master it. And that mindset helped turn him into a millionaire. So, how can you do the same? How can you pay off debt and use the same principles to build real wealth? In this video, we'll uncover 10 powerful lessons that changed Kiyosaki's life and how you can apply them to your own. Each one will move you closer to financial freedom and away from the cycle of fear, denial, and stress that keeps millions stuck. Let's start where true freedom begins, by facing the numbers. Number 10. Face the numbers. The brutal honesty. Step you can't escape what you refuse to see. That's the first truth about money, and it's the reason most people never get out of debt. They know they owe money, but they don't know how much. They swipe cards, pay bills here and there, and tell themselves, "I'm managing." But deep down, they're avoiding the mirror. Here's the hard truth. You can't learn how to pay off debt until you face it fully. Robert Kiyosaki learned this the painful way when he finally sat down and listed every dollar he owed, to banks, to investors, even to friends. That single act changed everything. It turned a mountain of fear into a plan. Most people think the first step to build wealth is to earn more money. It's not. It's clarity. Because you can't build freedom on confusion. So write it all down. Every credit card, every loan, every promise you've made to pay back. No judgment, just truth. You'll feel uncomfortable at first. But that discomfort is the price of awareness. And awareness is the beginning of control. Once you see the full picture, something powerful happens. You stop lying to yourself. And when the lies end, the plan begins. But knowing your numbers isn't enough. If you keep spending faster than you pay down debt, you'll stay stuck forever. So in step number 9, we'll learn how to stop the bleeding and take back control of your cash flow. Number 9, stop the leak. No new debt, no excuses. If you're in a hole, stop digging. It sounds obvious. Yet this is where most people fail. They want to learn how to pay off debt, but they keep adding more. A new credit card, a bigger car, another emergency expense, and every new swipe quietly erases the progress they made yesterday. Before you can build wealth, you have to stop the leaks. Think of your finances like a bucket. If water keeps pouring out faster than it fills, it doesn't matter how much you earn, you'll stay empty. The wealthy understand this rule better than anyone. Control your outflow before you chase inflow. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Robert Kiyosaki learned this when he and Kim decided to live in a basement rather than add more loans. They didn't grow rich by making more money. They grew rich by refusing to dig deeper. So pause for a moment and ask, what's one habit that's keeping your financial bucket leaking? Impulse spending, unplanned subscriptions, lifestyle creep. You can't fix what you don't measure, but once you do, you must take action immediately. Cancel, cut back, simplify. Every dollar you protect is a seed for your future freedom. Because paying off debt isn't just about discipline, it's about direction. And now that the leaks are sealed, it's time to bring order to the chaos. Step number 8 will show you how to visualize your entire debt system and finally see progress in motion. Number 8, the whiteboard rule. Visualize every dollar owed. What you measure, you control. That's not just a quote. It's a fundamental law of money. Most people try to pay off debt in their head. They juggle numbers, guess payment dates, and hope it'll all work out somehow. But hope isn't a plan, and confusion kills progress. If you want financial freedom, you need to see your reality clearly. On paper, or better yet, on a whiteboard. List every debt, who you owe, how much, and the minimum payment. Then divide the total amount by that payment to see exactly how many months stand between you and zero. When Robert Kiyosaki did this, he finally stopped feeling trapped. For the first time, he could see the finish line. Not just imagine it. That visual turned fear into focus. There's real psychology behind this. Neuroscientists call it externalizing cognition. When you visualize a problem, your brain switches from panic to problem-solving mode. In simple terms, your whiteboard becomes your roadmap. Every mark you erase is a small win, a visible reminder that you're moving forward. And small wins build momentum faster than motivation ever could. So don't underestimate this step. Write it, see it, track it daily. That's how you retrain your mind to think like a builder, not a borrower. Because the next step, number 7, will show you the secret to turning those small wins into unstoppable momentum. Number 7, the momentum trick. Start with the smallest debt. Small wins build unstoppable confidence. That's not just motivation, it's neuroscience. When you're buried in bills, the numbers can feel impossible. You tell yourself, what's the point? I'll never get out. But here's the truth. Your brain doesn't need a miracle. It just needs proof that progress is possible. That's why one of Robert Kiyosaki's most effective lessons on how to pay off debt is simple. Start small. Forget trying to slay the biggest loan first. Instead, focus on the smallest one. Why? Because when you pay off one debt completely, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical that drives motivation and reward. That rush of progress rewires your mindset from hopeless to capable. And that shift is everything. So line up your debts from smallest to largest. Attack the first one with intensity. Celebrate when it's gone, no matter how small. Then roll that payment into the next one. That's the snowball effect in motion. This isn't just about paying bills, it's about building belief. Each small victory strengthens your financial discipline and creates momentum toward financial freedom. Because the truth is, success rarely comes from massive leaps. It's built through consistent steps that compound over time. But momentum alone won't organize your path. To truly scale this process, you'll need structure and sometimes professional leverage. That's what step number 6 is all about. Number 6, the hidden leverage. Why the rich hire accountants. Early, poor people avoid accountants. Rich people hire them first. It sounds simple, even unfair, but it's one of the biggest mindset shifts that separates the wealthy from the struggling. Most people trying to pay off debt think hiring help is a luxury. They say, I can't afford an accountant right now. But here's the irony. That belief keeps them stuck. Robert Kiyosaki learned early that financial freedom isn't just about making money. It's about mastering systems. And the right people are part of that system. When you bring in a professional, an accountant, a financial planner, even a money coach, you buy clarity. You stop guessing, stop panicking, and start making decisions based on data, not emotion. Delegation creates focus, and focus creates progress. An accountant helps you track your income, expenses, and debt payoff plan objectively. They'll spot tax opportunities, simplify your cash flow, and make sure every dollar works for you, not against you. This isn't about being rich enough to hire help. It's about being smart enough to value your time and peace of mind. Because building wealth isn't just about earning more, it's about organizing what you already have into a system that compounds results. Once your external system is in place, your next challenge isn't financial anymore. It's internal. Step number 5 reveals the mindset that holds most people back long after the numbers start improving. It's internal. Step number 5 reveals the mindset that holds most people back long after the numbers start improving. Number 5. The mind game. Grow bigger than your problems. Money problems are never about money. They're about mindset. 2 people can owe the same amount. One collapses under the pressure, the other uses it as fuel to grow. The difference isn't numbers. It's how they think when things get hard. Robert Kiyosaki often said, the problem is never the problem. The problem is you. At first, that sounds harsh, but when you understand it, it becomes liberating. because it means you have control. You can learn how to pay off debt by learning how to think differently. When you see debt as a teacher, not a punishment, everything changes. You stop running from it. You start asking better questions. What can this situation teach me about discipline, about patience, about value creation? That's the essence of a wealth mindset. Rich people don't escape problems, they outgrow them. They become bigger than their obstacles, and every challenge you overcome trains emotional resilience. The same resilience you'll need later when you start building real assets and passive income. So take a breath. Your situation isn't permanent, it's a test. And you're learning the skill that separates those who stay broke from those who reach financial freedom. Because once your mindset shifts, your strategy must evolve too. And in step number 4, we'll rebuild smarter by learning to use debt the way the rich do. Number 4, the asset formula. Buy what pays you back. If it takes money out of your pocket, it's a liability. If it puts money into your pocket, it's an asset. That single distinction changed Robert Kiyosaki's life, and it can change yours too. Most people spend their entire lives working to pay off debt, yet they keep buying things that drain their cash flow. New cars, bigger homes, status symbols. They're not bad people. They're just playing the wrong game. The rich play a different one. They focus on building wealth through assets, things that pay them back month after month. Real estate, businesses, investments, intellectual property. The middle class buys liabilities and calls them assets. The wealthy buy assets and let those assets pay for their liabilities. That's the foundation of financial freedom. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. When you own something that earns while you sleep, you begin to break the cycle of trading time for money. So before you buy anything, ask one question. Will this put money into my pocket or take it out? Because every dollar you spend is either building your freedom or someone else's. And now that you understand what to buy, it's time to talk about how to buy it. Step number 3 will reveal how the rich use the right kind of debt to accelerate growth, while most people let bad debt destroy them. Number 3, the power of good debt. Use it to multiply cash flow. The rich borrow differently. Most people hear the word debt and feel fear. They think of sleepless nights, overdue bills, and credit cards screaming for minimum payments. But debt itself isn't the villain. It's how you use it. Good debt is strategic. It's money borrowed to buy assets that generate cash flow, like rental properties, dividend stocks, or a business that earns even while you sleep. It works for you, not against you. Robert Kiyosaki once said, "I use debt to acquire assets that put money in my pocket." That's how he went from owing over $800,000 to becoming financially free. He didn't stop using debt, he learned to control it. Here's the truth. The poor work for money. The middle class works to pay off debt, but the rich make debt work for them. When used wisely, good debt becomes leverage, a multiplier of time, effort, and opportunity. It allows you to control assets far bigger than your savings alone could buy. And when those assets produce income, that income pays the debt and keeps the profit flowing to you. But here's the catch. Even good debt can destroy you without one crucial skill: discipline. Because the moment emotion takes over, strategy dies. And that's exactly what step number 2 is about. Mastering the daily discipline that turns financial theory into lasting freedom. Number 2, the discipline loop. Systems, not motivation. Wealth isn't emotional, it's mechanical. Most people think they fail because they lack motivation. But motivation is temporary. It fades. It depends on how you feel. Systems, on the other hand, they don't care about your emotions. They work rain or shine. The rich understand this. They don't trust memory or willpower to manage money. They use automation, scheduled transfers to savings, recurring investments, reminders to review accounts, or apps that track spending automatically. Because every decision you automate is one less chance to self-sabotage. Here's the pattern. Poor people react to money. The middle class manages money, but the wealthy systemize it. A disciplined loop means you set up structures that repeat the right actions even when life gets messy. Auto-pay your high-interest debts. Auto-invest a small percentage every week. Review your numbers monthly, not when there's a crisis. That's how financial freedom is built, through consistent, boring habits that compound over time. Motivation gets you started, but systems keep you rich. And that leads us to step number 1. The invisible mindset that separates those who escape debt once from those who stay free forever. Number 1, financial freedom is a direction, not a destination. You don't pay off debt to escape life, you do it to master it. Most people treat financial freedom like a finish line, a place where all stress disappears and money just flows. But the truth is simpler and deeper. Freedom isn't a destination, it's a direction. Robert Kiyosaki didn't become wealthy overnight. He made mistakes, went broke and rebuilt, but each failure taught him a new rule of money. The same can be true for you. Every time you pay off a small debt, you're not just fixing a number, you're training your mind. You're proving that discipline works. You're shifting from I owe to I own. Because wealth isn't about having millions. It's about control. Control of your time, your energy, your choices. And that control grows every time you take responsibility for your finances. So don't chase a moment when everything is done. Instead, build a system and mindset that never stops growing. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep moving, one smart decision at a time. And that's the real secret of financial freedom. It's not about escaping debt once. It's about never falling back again. Now, here's your challenge. Pick one small financial habit to automate today. Because the path to wealth doesn't begin with a big leap. It begins with one quiet, deliberate step in the right direction. Let's take a step back. You've just walked through the same path that turned $800,000 of debt into a lifetime of financial freedom. Not through luck, but through clarity, discipline, and leverage. First, you face the numbers, total honesty. Then you stop the leak. No new debt, no excuses. You visualized every dollar, built momentum with small wins, and built structure with professionals. You strengthened your mindset, learned the asset formula, and discovered the power of good debt. Finally, you replaced motivation with systems, and learned that freedom isn't a finish line, but a direction. Each step matters. Because wealth isn't one giant move, it's thousands of small intentional choices compounded over time. Here's the truth. You don't have to be rich to start thinking like the rich. You just have to start acting like someone who values freedom more than comfort. Now it's your turn. Build your system, track your numbers, automate your progress. And remember, every debt paid is a seed planted for your future wealth. If this helped shift how you see money, subscribe for more insights that turn everyday habits into lifelong wealth.